Do you think your wife is cheating on you? Can you imagine losing everything after an affair? Chris married the love of his life in what felt like a perfect, glamorous union. For the first few years, everything was smooth love, trust, and stability. But about 4 years in, as Chris approached 35, things began to feel off. His wife grew distant and secretive, taking late calls, replying to messages at odd hours, and staying out late for work. Chris noticed it all, but he didn't want to jump to conclusions. When he confronted her gently, she brushed it off as stress and workload. Reluctantly, Chris accepted her explanation and told himself they were just in a rough patch. Days later, Chris received incredible news at work. After 10 years of loyalty, he was promoted to a managerial role that tripled his salary. Overjoyed, he rushed home to share the moment only to find his wife at home with a younger man. She awkwardly explained it away as work-related, but Chris was convinced this was the proof he needed. Devastated, he stormed out and vented to a friend, who encouraged him to get revenge instead of answers. That night, fueled by alcohol and heartbreak, Chris made a decision that would destroy his life. At a bar, he met a woman who introduced herself as Chantal. They connected quickly, and the night ended with a one-time encounter. Chris woke up the next morning believing he had evened the score. Days later, however, his world shifted again. At work, his boss introduced him to his teenage daughter, Heaven, the same woman from that night. Realizing the gravity of what had happened, Chris panicked, and the two silently agreed to pretend it never occurred. Then came Chris's birthday. His wife had been distant all day, only for him to come home to a surprise party she had been secretly planning for weeks. She hadn't been cheating, she had been preparing something special for him. Chris broke down, trapped in guilt while everyone mistook his tears for joy. Weeks later, a hotel security breach exposed leaked footage online. Among the videos was proof of Chris's night with Heaven. The fallout was immediate and brutal. He was arrested, charged, fired, blacklisted from his industry, and abandoned by his wife, who filed for divorce. His former boss used every resource to prosecute him, while Chris watched his life unravel, career gone, marriage destroyed, finances drained, future uncertain. Chris went from having everything to having nothing, all because of one assumption and one reckless night. He now waits for a verdict that will define the rest of his life. Follow for more.